Lee with Speedboat Magazine, here with another episode of the Boats and Bros podcast. Finally, it's been so long since we've done this and almost forgot how to do it. But I'm here with my bro Myrick Coil of MCon Monster Energy and Performance Boat Center fame, and the duck of the hour, Mr. Adam Seraphine. What's up, Adam?
How are you guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
So
he's still coming off that shootout high, baby.
Super high, yeah. Good Lord. 37th annual Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. Dirty Duck, 438 skater, 212 miles an hour?
15. Don't fucking take mile an hour off his number.
Congratulations.
3 miles an hour.
Yeah. Expensive.
Tell us about it.
Well, ask them why they started slowing down. So they started slowing down. I'll tell them because they started putting weight in the nose of it.
On Sunday.
It was very comfortable weight, too. We really appreciated that weight.
Yeah.
Oh, the first run was obviously the fast run. We were, if you watch the video, Rusty and I were both very disappointed. In the boat, it felt like we got a horrible start. I think we came out of the box at 32 or 34 miles an hour, which was, well shy of the 40 that you want to be in there. So, 8 miles an hour in the beginning is, I don't know, what was that 12, 15 miles an hour at the end of the course?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's all about seconds. Well, and I also heard that you were low on nitrous or out of nitrous on one of the engines, so it didn't. One engine didn't come to life as quick as the other one, or something like that.
Yeah, and we went out to purge the nitrous, so we knew this was happening, but we didn't have nitrous on the star side. So when Rusty hit it, not only did we go through the gate too slow because the boat was having a hard time getting on plane, no one's fault, but the port side boosted up, the star side didn't. So the whole boat's rotating to the star side. So if you, again, watch the video, you'll see me turning to the port side just to straighten the boat out. So it was an eventful start, but we were both pretty disappointed. And but when the boat hooked up, it took off. So it was pretty crazy. And that, we got our numbers. So we were both shocked and excited at the same time.
Yeah. And my perspective of it is I was sitting there with you at the start line. Then we did our little 145 pass. And I went down to the other end, was sitting there going, oh, shit. Oh, shit. All nervous because I knew I've been in the boat and I know how fast it is. And then it comes down through there. In my perspective, I could see that whole left to right stuff happening on. Then I could see Adam having to turn it at the end to get through the buoys. And they got out in there. Adam didn't get out, but Rusty got out and threw his arms in the air, and me and Tyler were standing on the deck of the Monster Energy MCon boat. We're like, holy shit, like nervous for you, basically. Like, yeah, damn.
Yeah, in the boat, it wasn't scary. There was no, oh shit moment, but we definitely looking up the deck of the boat. Rusty was, tucking it in the whole way. So, what people can't see is the boat lifted once we got off the throttles. So it was, the transom drop and then the nose coming up. So if the boat was lifting under acceleration, we would have been more nervous. So boat came up, came right back down. It was fine. It's not the best feeling to have, but we knew we could fix that in subsequent runs. So that gave us the confidence.
So we were talking before this started.
Yeah, then you went out and did 35 more runs and burn all of Slug's fuel up. And
we were talking before we started. This is an interesting dynamic because, Myrick, you were in the driver's seat literally last year of the Dirty Duck alongside Rusty Williams. And this year, Adam, you took his place. You guys talked about the nitrous, and for those that don't know, Myrick, walk us through what that is and what it does and what it failed to do on Saturday of Shootout.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, did the pass with the Dirty Duck with Rusty and Carson Brummett engines, and you literally hit the gas at the start line, and you're like, "What's happening?" And then so we're trying to figure out something. The last year, we're like, should we put 2-speed transmissions in it? And I just kind of brought it up to Carson and Slug. I'm like, well, I've seen diesel guys put nitrous on them just to get them rolling. And Carson's like, absolutely. And that's, because putting 2-speed transmissions and changing the dynamics so much and then trying to fine tune all this stuff is a lot harder than putting I think he said it's a 150 shot or something on it. It's not that much. And all it does is it just lights the engine up enough to where the turbo starts spooling. And once the turbo starts spooling, game over, the nitrous is off. I think it's only like 3 or 4 seconds of nitrous out of a 20-some second run. But I guess they had one, episode where it wasn't working. Literally, when you go back and purge it, there's a little solenoid on the throttle plates that when the engine sees full throttle, it goes into just like a little couple second countdown where it's giving it nitrous. But when you're purging it, literally throttle blades completely closed, engine sitting there idling, say 1,000, 1,200 RPMs, and you hit that little nitrous button or that little purge button on the side, and this thing goes wow, wow, wow. You're like, holy shit, that's the throttle blade isn't even opening up. So at that point, it's pretty wild. I've never felt nitrous in a boat, so it's the first time. And so now Adam has, but first time he ever felt it was just out of one engine instead of both.
Yeah. So Adam, tell us what that felt like when the nitrous on one side kicked in and the other didn't.
It was very similar to like a QC4V boat where you don't have boost on one side, you do have it on the other. So we agreed to run the boat after we identified the problem as we were purging the system. So we fully expected it to happen, but on your first pass in front of I don't know how many thousands of spectators, you don't want the boat rotating on you, so then you got to correct it and hopefully point it back in the right direction. So it was a lot of stuff to deal with, but then on the second pass when we solved the issue, took off like a rocket ship. So that second pass so on Sunday we were dealing with some crosswinds, and then of course we had some weight in the nose just to settle the boat down when we got out of the throttles. So passes 2 and 3 were, Myrick, what were those speeds? 112, 113, I think, in the subsequent passes.
I think you went a 213, then a 212 back.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
It just kind of went down a little bit at a time, but obviously the speed of the boat, which are hoping for like a 205, just to beat last year, and then having a new course to go out and do a 215, 213, a 212, a 211, all those numbers just to show, you're getting the most out of the boat for what it's available to do on that course. They also had a 40 pitch propeller on it that was like 1850 cut, I think is what it is. So, it's like an average weight of a 1100 propellers, like 23 pounds, 25 pounds on a 1350. This is like a 33 pound propeller. So
wow,
it just goes to show how much power and, how they're laying it down in such a short amount of area.
Yeah, obviously, if we would have went out and ran our 212 pass and that's all we did, we would be ecstatic.
Right.
Anytime you do a little bit less than your initial pass, you're a little bit frustrated. But the second and third passes, the boat was super flat, super stable, did exactly what we wanted it to do, and we were still fighting crosswinds. So the boat was amazing in those second passes.
Yeah, it looked a lot less eventful. And you did have a crosswind from the starboard to the port, but it was like, I like to say, as coming across the back of the boat over the front. But it would, just like you saw that, can't ever remember the name of it, Darana Hybrid. Darana. It pushed them enough to there where they went to the left of that final buoy, which can't be that deep of water.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Well, for those that don't know, Adam has owned countless performance boats. It has hundreds and hundreds of hours of performance boating. But this was your first time running a shootout.
Yeah, it's kind of the way to do it, huh? 215 in my first shootout pass.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? Yeah, leading up to all the jitters and all the talk, because obviously there was huge anticipation leading up to that, and Myrick, like you said, The goal was initially 205 just to beat the record for last year, and then I heard towards the later end of the week at 210, and then you guys come out and obliterate it with 215.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. My first shootout pass, I think, was like 77. So Adam's got me freaking smoked. That was on a mile course. I like to build up slowly, and then I chicken shit it out and gave Adam the opportunity to go in there and do that, which he's probably happy now that he's got to experience that, and now he's earned the seat that he'll obviously get to do it again because Slug was already ordering propellers and stuff for next year.
Yeah. So what was that like, Adam?
I mean, the whole experience was wild. There was a lot of talk between myself and the whole Performance Boat Center crew up to this event, and Rusty and I obviously having the conversation of, we both had great lives and we're not willing to risk it to jump in a boat, but we have obviously a lot of confidence in each other and a lot of comfortability. So, the whole thing was, just crazy. Kind of a loss for words as far as kind of how it all went down and just the overall experience in the boat. For me, beyond the overall safety factors and of course going and doing our job, I was of course terrified that, me being new to that particular boat, am I going to jump in and do something stupid? And, for me, I'm a real estate developer. I'm doing this for really just for fun and for the experience of being able to do it. Rusty's a professional in the boating business. So I was terrified that, is Adam going to jump in this boat and do something stupid and jeopardize everything that Rusty's done to build himself up to this point? And that was, a real genuine concern of mine. And, this whole thing was really Rusty and Performance Boat Center coming together with Slug's Dirty Duck Racing and putting this all together. So Rusty took the lead from our side of the table and did an amazing job. And I just wanted to, of course, point the boat across the finish line and do it safely. So we did that, and we're very happy. And now we're here to be able to talk about it.
And kudos to Rusty keeping it under control and being having that drive to keep going out there and doing it again. Because to me, if I'd have hit a 215, I'd been like, okay, let's put her on the dock. but I was also the person who was like, man, this thing's gonna go that fast. I am a father of four that have a lot of people counting on me, and then I watched that boat flip over out there in Lake Havasu, the Freedom 1 boat. So I got a little mental, and I put myself in enough risky situations. I figure why put myself in that one, and then it's when Adam had the bigger balls and hopped in there.
Is it bigger balls or less brains? I don't know. One of the two, maybe.
It's the same. That's the same thing. That's saying the same thing. Same thing. Man, you're dumb. Man, you got big balls. Yeah, same thing.
So
it's a nice way of saying you're dumb.
Obviously, the Dirty Duck got a ton of media attention, Speedboat included, leading up to it. What was it like when you were out with Rusty testing the boat as opposed to actually being out there on the course and doing it for real?
I was actually nervous that I wasn't nervous. The test runs was just another day of boating. Obviously, a lot faster and a different boat than we're used to, but I got comfortable in the boat really fast. And my initial concern was, I think the average boater would have a complete panic attack. And it's not even the 200 mile an hour speed; it's just how fast you get there. That's the crazy part. And people are forgetting. Everyone's talking about how we did 215, or Steve did 242. They're forgetting that we did it in essentially under 3/4 of a mile, which is completely insane. And that probably hasn't even sat in yet with me. So that's.
I was trying to think. I mean, on a 3/4 mile course of the shootout, I was trying to think how many people have probably broke 200, and I was thinking there's got to be 10 or less, that have ever done it in a full size boat. So it's different when you start talking about drag boats and stuff like that, but to take an offshore boat and 3/4 of a mile and go over 200, it's got to be less than 10 people.
That's
and
crazy to think about.
maybe three or
How
four
that's sinking with
boats.
you.
Yeah,
Is your jacket in the mail? Welcome.
yeah.
My
We're gonna
green
have to give
jacket.
him his
Yeah.
dirty duck jacket.
But no. I mean, the overall experience was.
If I wore a dirty duck jacket and we were going 210, that duck on there would have a little shit stain on the back. I was laughing with Adam beforehand. I was fucking with him, and like the night before, since I'm a big tough guy, backed out. I'm like, "You guys gonna use the chutes?" And they're looking at me. I was like, "Adam, you got your Depends on for the run?" He's like, "Yeah, thanks, Myrick. You're a real motivational speaker."
Yeah, Myrick had all sorts of ideas once he wasn't in the boat anymore. He told me he was going to get me. He said they're going to line up a Depend sponsorship, so I was waiting for that to show up. And then someone in the shop asked about triggering the chute, and we said we're not even powering that up. We're not going to use it. And Myrick's first comment was, "Well, you have to use it. You got to put it on the show." And okay.
Yeah, and when I was at the boat, the Rusty's like, "We gonna pull the chutes?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." It's like, how do you know what they're gonna do? I was like, probably rip the whole transom off that son of a bitch. I don't know.
Hey, it just occurred to me that the three of us have all driven that boat, and I've driven it with Rusty. And yeah, so the three of us are drivers of Dirty Duck.
Yeah, that's nice. Good job. How fast you go, Ray? 180.
Oh, I don't even know. I was too busy giggling. Remember?
Yeah, that was a good
I
video.
saw that video.
Yeah, let's see. Sent my viral because I was giggling like a schoolgirl. But no,
they probably thought you were Bobby Lee in there.
And Rusty was Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, Rusty was Theo Vaughn. Now Rusty doesn't talk as much as Theo. They probably didn't think that.
Yeah,
that's funny. But yeah, it makes. I actually, after last year's shootout, we had to take it back to the dock, and Tyler being my guy, I'm like, "You got to go ride in this thing," and he's like, "What?" Yeah, I was like, "You got to go ride in it." And so Rusty took Tyler back to, I think it was all the way to Performance, and it was funny. I go, "How fast do you go?" He goes, "Well, way over 180, but the GPS shut off." When like that, it just like, I don't know whether it lost signal or something. It's just like right when he was getting ready to like figure out his new big number, that was like, "Oh, yeah, you don't get to know exactly how fast you went because it shut off like 178 under acceleration or something." So
yeah, both of you guys can speak to this. What is it like working with Slug Hefner, who's such a maniac as far as being such a speed duck for all these years, and Carson Brummett for that matter? Those guys are just masterminds at what they do.
Yeah, icons.
Yeah.
For Carson, I mean, most soft-spoken guy, his wife, wonderful lady. And literally, talks about the engine a little bit, and constantly, as like boat guys, we're like, can we have more? And he's like, "Well, I might be able to give you a little bit." It's like, I don't know. Yeah, just we'll take more. We'll take more if you got it. Kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, he had the computer plugged in before we had the boat tied up, so he was digging through and trying to figure out what went right, what went wrong. And Myrick, I think he was calling you and Rusty right away Monday morning, asking for more data, and so it's very in tune with what's happening. It was impressive.
Yeah, it is. He's got that engine package figured out, and to run on the I forget what, E90, I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's ethanol-based fuel that's bad to the bone. Yeah. I forget, did he ever mention to you? I didn't hear how many pounds of boost you guys were running.
Yeah, he 30s. Told us. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was bigger number than I've seen a car.
Yeah, I remember last year it was like 30 pounds of boost, but there was bigger turbos on it this year. And then they went to crash boxes, which made it a lot more pain in the ass for Rusty. But overall is probably safer because, you know, it's really locked up instead of counting on the pressure of a pump on the transmission and all that. So
Myrick, for those that don't know, what is the difference of running crash boxes as opposed to the traditional setup?
Got to shut it off. That's the biggest part. So shut it off. You kind of lean on the shifter and like put pressure on it, and then you're hitting the start button with the ignition shut off. Then just because you're trying to get two splines to line up, and if it's running, they'll just sit there and grind on each other. But if you're like bumping them, eventually they'll go into each other. So yeah, so crash box, that's what it is. And it basically takes two shafts, the shaft that's hooked to the flywheel and then the shaft that is hooked to the drive shaft, and makes this little coupler just fall over it and connect the two shafts. So at that point, I think they call it a crash box because you crash so much around the docks, or, you know, I think, I mean, I can't think of any other reason why they would call it that. I know that like, also the wing sprints, they have something like that. They might call it an in and out box, but basically a lot of those cars, they don't have any neutral or reverse. So that's why you'll see them, like the car with the tire on the front, come out and like push them, and then they dump the clutch and they take off, you know, because they're stuck in one gear and they're stuck in drive basically. So, but anyway, yeah, crash box, crash around the docks. Rusty and Adam did a good job not to crash the boat, from what at least I didn't hear about him crashing the boat.
No. Well, it's all good.
No. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, saw it getting cleaned up at the shop and getting hauled back to Slug Shop, where it will get put to bed for a year, I guess.
Yeah. And for that matter,
to be honest, the thing should go out and run some poker runs or something. I mean, it's once you actually get it in gear and get it running, it's pretty docile until you hit the throttles and it comes to life. It's pretty wild.
Well, we're going back and forth right now, but I know Gwen really wants us to do this, but we're talking about running it during the fall fun run. So,
oh, hell yeah.
We're trying to get Slug to bring his 50 Mystic out, and Rusty and I want to run that thing. So that's the goal. So that's not finalized, but we're hoping that happens.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And that being said,
cool to use once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
You and Rusty were Top Gun for about 24 hours overnight anyway. Yeah. And
yeah,
overall,
the one year that American Ethanol actually screws up or has a mechanical failure in 10 years, and then here comes Steve Curtis with his freaking missile, with his Acme. Yeah, with his Acme rocket. That's what he's got.
You call him the Coyote?
I don't know. It's probably, yeah. He would definitely be the Coyote.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. 242 in 3/4 mile, and you guys were in and around the water when that thing was running. What did you think, and what was your vantage point?
We were at the start line. We were just pulling up when they took off, and I think that thing was going 150 miles an hour out of the start box. It was completely ridiculous. And, I mean, you guys know Steve better than I do, but I talked to him, I think it was, Saturday morning, and he said that's the fastest damn thing he's ever been in and ever seen. So, the rumors are that there's a lot more in that thing.
There is.
Yeah, well, he was on the podcast one time. He said he's seen 260-something in it. And the fact that it can go that fast in 3/4 of a mile is nuts. I watched that video. They put out a video today, and it was one of those, like, the 3 screens where you see out the back, just similar to what you guys did.
We posted.
And I was zoomed in on their speedo, and they're about 37 through the box, and the next number was 70, and the next number was 110, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I brag about having 10-mile-an-hour jumps. They're having 40-mile-an-hour jumps. And then once it got to like 170, 190, 211, 221, 237, I'm just like, I couldn't believe it because I was like zoomed in on there, like, well, just that's all I was watching was the Speedo.
Yeah. Well, I got a chance to meet with the new owner, Daryl Cuttle of Darana Hybrid, and he's the new owner of IHRA. And yeah, he is just like gung ho and all in about it. I heard that he's got another set of turbines. So this set was 4,400 a side, Steve told me, and he's got bigger ones that he wants to put in for next year. And technically, it's capable of high 200s. And Steve's like, oh no, I'm not ready for that yet. So it's like, let's just tweak on these and come back next year.
We're gonna have to put a net at the end of the thing to catch. It's like what do they have at the end of the drag? So they have like a sand pit or something like that.
Yeah, or those guys that get shot out of a cannon, the big nets that
they
launched into.
Big old stretchy net. Yeah. That's pretty wild. I never got to meet the gentleman or talk to him. I did meet him, but I've known Steve forever. And Steve came up to me right after the run and goes, "Win or swim," like his joke that he always says.
First, as far as your escape plan.
It's just the way I do it in every boat. So
yeah,
he can go first.
That's fine.
Win or swim. And I go, "How fast are you gonna go?" Before I saw him, I talked to him that day before, and he goes, "I think 240." And so he's right there. They had yeah, he did it. And it was crazy the fact that all the boats, that were, slated to do what they can do, and then you guys were the ones to have the 215 up there. I mean, you probably had girls all over you on Saturday night.
No comment, Adam?
Yeah, no next question.
I'm sitting over here, Missy's eating a taco over here. She don't even know what we're talking about. She's just looking at me, rolling her eyes.
So, Adam, obviously a huge week for you guys, but between the massive street party and the media attention leading up to it, and then afterwards, what was your favorite part of that spotlight?
Well, I don't like the spotlight. I want to go sit in the boat and go as fast as possible. So, the only reason I'm doing this podcast is because of you guys and Rusty. So, I would, and all my friends are laughing at me because they know I don't like the spotlight, and they know that I just want to go out and have fun. And for me, it's the experience. That's all it is. So, I can do all this stuff, and I'm fine with it. But I don't thrive off of it. So. For me,
I don't mean necessarily the spotlight, but what was your favorite moment of the entire weekend?
When Rusty hit the throttles going through the start box, and that acceleration is absolutely addicting. So we were obviously nervous for the first run. Second run, we made some changes, so we were trying to figure out what the boat would do. And then the third run, when we ran our 212, that was fun. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. We both actually enjoyed, and we weren't freaking out the whole time. So for me, it was going and running the boat. I mean, that was my favorite part of the whole thing. And then, like I said, for me, it's the experience. And one of the reasons I'm successful in my career is I kind of ignore the noise and don't pay attention to the bullshit. And so I did the same thing here, and that allowed me to be comfortable. And it didn't really hit me until we're standing on the docks, and Don Onken came up and shook my hand and said, I'm looking forward to watching you run. And I thought, damn it, this is real. Like we gotta go out there and do this now. So, I mean, the whole thing was awesome, but being in the boat and working with Slug, that was, he's the utmost professional and listened to our input and took in what we had to say and was responsive and overall, Performance Boat Center and Dirty Duck came together and made it work. So that was, for me and Rusty, Rusty and I, it was flawless for us. So.
We had expectations, but not this big expectations as a lot of people thought. Our goal was to go out, break 202. That's what we ran at last year at 3/4 mile with Myrick Coil and I. And Carson did some tuning on the engines over the winter and found us a little bit more power. And that first run, obviously, we were definitely very nervous. Didn't know what to expect and didn't know what to foresee. But first run was unbelievable. Whopping 215 miles an hour. Even going through the run, I didn't quite expect that big of a number. Go through the run, boat lifted up a little bit at the end under deacceleration. So after I lifted off the throttles, losing the downforce of the engines, and lifted up a little bit. Nothing scary in the cockpit or anything like that, but settled it down, slowed the boat down, turned off the course, got the boat shut down, and then about 15 seconds later, I got my first text that it was 2:15. I don't know if anybody saw the video or not, but obviously I was pretty excited, and Adam didn't even know what I said, and I said it quite a few more times. So.
I'm impressed.
Same, yeah. And
it takes
the
a lot to
craziest
impress me. He was asking for pointers at lunch the day before, and I don't think I gave him any input other than don't fuck up.
You said don't fuck up. You know how to drive a boat, and then you started looking at TikTok videos. So.
Another motivational speaker moment.
My mentor.
Yeah. Don't fuck up. There's a lot of people watching.
Yeah.
It's really other than just feeling anticipation. I mean, that's what it is. Anticipation and feel. So
I think if you would have given me too many pointers, or if I would have listened to too many people, then the whole noise thing I just talked about kind of gets in your head and can mess with you. So we went out and did our job, and everyone was asking us about the course, and I kind of laughed because we didn't have the opportunity to even think about the course. We just picked the line and shot down what we thought was the line, and it worked. So for Rusty and I, the course was great. We just blocked out all the bullshit.
Yeah, it's exactly
ironically
right.
what I thought was your prettiest pass, your most dialed in pass was your slowest, which was your last one.
That's the way it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it was because you were just set. The attitude was perfect, and you just straight as an arrow and nailed it. But then it was a 212. Boo-hoo, only 212. But that's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than smart, but we didn't. The boat accelerated. We didn't have to turn the boat. We got the crosswinds right, and the boat felt awesome.
Yeah.
It's Mark, way different than your 39-foot MTI that you have, right? You're almost like 100 miles an hour faster.
So we were out on Chris Martin's boat, the 50, on Monday, and Rusty and I were laughing because we were going like 38 miles an hour, and so that's what 100. We were going 177 miles an hour slower on Monday than we were going on Saturday, and having just so much fun.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's awesome. Mark, what did you think about the new course, the new location, the new shootout?
The course could use a little work with like the second set of orange buoys kind of gave people a weird feeling of that they had to bend the boat around them, but if you kept the boat straight, you would have landed inside. So we've been talking about that, but as far as the location, it's awesome. I mean, the fact that it's I didn't have one little wake hit me, because it really keeps, since it's kind of close quarters, it keeps everybody from the idea that they can run fast or hard around there. And, as far as a majority of the boats on Lake of the Ozarks and people are between the dam and the, 40-mile marker, the fact that it's at the 19-20 mile marker and centrally located is nice. That I would guess that a lot of people made it down there. I mean, as the new Oasis or whatever the name of this thing's being built, and there's more docks and there's more viewing. I did hear that they're gonna make Patahitsi a spectator area to where people will actually be able to stand there and watch the race boats go, because You know, I haven't ever been able to at any of the shootouts other than like being at a high level at shooters 21 to actually see the course. Because if you were down at dock level, you couldn't see through the crowd. Once you got up to like, I think it was 2 or 3 levels, shooters 21 was, you'd be able to see the boat go by. But that's about the only way that I've ever been able to see the course other than being out on a boat. So
Yeah.
pretty neat. I mean, what'd you think of it, Adam? Obviously, you were going back and forth in the race boat, but
Yeah, well, I mean, Dog Days is on Jeffries there, and I also have a place on Jeffries. So for my own personal selfish reasons, I was able to go home and walk my dog in between runs. So
yeah,
from that standpoint, the location was amazing, and zero complaints about the course. And I thought getting from Dog Days over to the start line, that was not a problem. So
yeah, it's like not even probably a half a mile at most to get to the start line and go down there. And I kind of liked being secluded back in that cove a little bit, you know, kind of get away from everybody and get your mind right back there, just sitting there with the other start boats instead of the other area, you know, had boats coming through the where you were sitting a lot around the start line. And this is kind of nice being down there out of the wind. You could, you know, the boat didn't have to be running. You could just be sitting there chilling out and getting ready for the run. It's the way it was with Missy and I. We did a run, and it was nice being able to sit down there and just kind of relax and wait for the pass when we were in the 420. So
yeah, we didn't even see any spectators until we turned off the course at the end because, like you said, you're kind of secluded, and we're definitely not looking to our left or right as we're going down the course. So it's the run up was fine, the shutdown was fine, the course was good. Yeah. For a first year event, I thought they did a great job.
I agree.
Agreed. You know what I appreciated too, as because we were on the in the middle of the spectator fleet, and having you guys come back by and idle right in front of everybody, you know, kind of to collect your accolades, or with you not necessarily being a spotlight guy, but like people that get to see the boat up close and the racers kind of perched up on the cockpit. Both you guys, Rusty especially, was like returning a bunch of texts, and we were yelling at him to look up if we could take a picture of you guys. But both of you guys were pretty busy. But that was pretty cool too. If you wanted to run in front of the fleet, or if you opted not to, you go around, right?
Yeah, we didn't actually know what was happening because the coast marshals came up to us immediately and told us to run down the side. And when I looked at my phone as soon as we got out of the boat, the first message was from Vinny sending us text that we can't talk about on this podcast, but we were both laughing as we were getting messages from everybody. So it was kind of cool to run down the float.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I mean, obviously it helps because you're idling a little bit faster than coming back through the crowd. But it was neat.
And it gives the fans a chance to kind of see you guys up close and personal, so to speak, and just kind of go, you know, you can see you guys, but it was kind of a stretch out from where the flotilla started out to where the course was, and which is cool because there's people like hanging out on lily pads and stuff like that. But then to have you guys come right in front of us is kind of like, you know, a victory lap, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that they have to keep the course 500 feet away from any spectators.
I think that's correct.
Yeah. But no,
we didn't run anyone over on the way back, so that was also a plus. So
it's always positive. Yeah.
Good job,
so Myrick,
boys.
Congratulations to you, Slug, Rusty, Carson, the whole team, because very impressive, especially being second overall behind the 242, which is
we didn't see that coming. We didn't see the high number and then our overall ranking. So that was fun.
Yeah. And like you guys were alluding to, the boys are already planning for next year.
Yes, we are. So I think Myrick's already ordered props. Carson's asking us to do some testing for some airflow stuff on the boat, air to fuel ratio type stuff. And then Slug's got that. I've said that I'm not going to talk about what our goals are for speed, but Slug does have that pesky little 217 number in the back of the boat. So we are looking for a reason to maybe remove that.
That reminds me, Slug. I told Slug that you and Rusty were going to be on the podcast with us. Unfortunately, Rusty couldn't make it because he's on his way to St. Pete. But he had a message for you boys, which was, tell them not to be too focused on breaking my 217 mile an hour speed limit sign. And then he follows it up with, you know how defiant these young flat bellies can be. So you guys are flat bellies.
I don't mind being defiant in that matter. So we can
Correct.
we'll remove that. Hopefully we can remove that badge next year.
There you go. Yeah, you're close.
Yeah, and for the people that don't know what the 217 is that's Slug's Top Gun speed in American ethanol. So that's how fast he went in American ethanol. When he was Top Gun, I don't know what year it was, but it was some of the early years of American ethanol, and it was probably 8 years ago. That would be my guess.
I thought he told me 2015 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So 10 years ago. Yeah. That's cool.
You know what I really enjoyed seeing, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Adam, is the sportsmanship between all the heavy hitters, right? You said Don Alkin came up to you and wished you luck and look forward to seeing you. And then even afterwards, I saw images and video of Daryl Cuddle, congratulating the American Ethanol guys and maybe even you guys, but just on that dock with all you big boys, it seemed like very a cohesive group, and you guys were just kind of commingling after the runs.
Yeah, and we're all friends from. I know Steve from the Outer Limits days, and that's drinking at poker runs after we put the boats away, and him and all his antics, let's call it. But no, Steve's awesome, and the American Ethanol guys, we've slowly got to know them over the years. So it's kind of fun to be around that group as this whole thing happens. So it was, then we're at the start line, and Myrick and Tyler are making fun of us as we're about ready to jump in the boat. So
yeah. We all know each other, and it's cool. It really is. It's what the shootout's all about, in my opinion. I mean, camaraderie, friends, putting on a show, gathering together. I mean, it's more about the gathering together and seeing everybody than the actual boats running. I mean, because, look at all the events we had all week. We had the Tuesday night. They had the Make-A-Wish all at Performance Boat Center that weekend. Then we kind of have Monday to get ready for the induction into the Hall of Fame on Tuesday, and then Wednesday street party, then Thursday's Performance Boat Center party, then Friday's poker run, and other runs and photo shoots, and then we had the Speedboat magazine photo shoot and evaluations, and then now the race is actually here. So and then you do that for 2 days. So anyway,
becomes a long week, but it goes very fast.
Yeah.
I still haven't recovered.
No.
Me neither.
Still haven't recovered. Yeah. Got to race Chicago this weekend. That was pretty cool. Thank God that it was calm.
So first year having a race in Chicago hosted by Race World Offshore, and I heard it was a beautiful venue. Myrick, tell us about that.
Totally understand why people live up north in July, August, early September, because it's freaking gorgeous. And it was one of those weekends. I mean, wind barely blowing. I think it was called Montrose Park, or anyway, it was on the north side of Chicago to where you could see the Navy Pier down there, but beautiful park. Come up Lakeshore Drive from downtown where everybody sees the river and, like Soldier Field and stuff like that. And then you come up there, gorgeous place. I had it set up nice, and got to go out there and do some boat racing. Ended up third overall. There was actually a tie for 3 boats for second place after 2 days of running. Dirty Money got the Dirty Money South, had the win, was first, and then us 3 tied for second, and that's X Insurance North, GC Motorsports, which is MTI and Willie Cabiza and Grant Bergerman, and then us. The way this is determined and where the tie breaks is how many laps you finish is the first way. So then X Insurance North had a failure on Saturday, so they were bumped down to fourth. And then between Willie and us, I never actually saw the lap times or anything like that, but overall racing time, they must have had us beat somehow. So got third.
Yeah.
Shitty start on Saturday. I'm still freaking pissed, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Now, Myrick, are Rusty and Chad running the two boats this weekend?
Oh yeah, that's some big news.
Breaking news right here.
Breaking news. So Rusty and Chad went from, hey, we got a stock boat and we're gonna go boat racing, and oh hey, we're gonna trade this bus in for a hauler, a toy hauler with a stacker. Oh hey, let's get another boat. So now, I mean, I think they're battling for most boats in the pits, along with going to be up there with like most laps and prettiest equipment. They're going to be giving Vinny a run for his money for long.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so pretty neat. They're going to be in the boat that I had ran with Tyler in Lake Race and Michigan City, which was the TS Motorsports boat, the blue one. Next time you all see it, it'll be white and red. It'll say less MF on it, which I think stands for say less, my friend. And
That's
Hey guys, Rusty Williams here. I race a super stock. It's S21 Say Less Racing MF. If anybody's curious about MF, it's my friend. And
and then Rosenbach Freight, powered by Performance Boat Center, and Chad Rudisil and Rusty Williams will be in the 500 class, trying to do some good and get up there on the podium. So be exciting. Same piece of
cool.
fast race too. So
I spoke to Rusty just about an hour ago, and he was telling me that the boat is getting wrapped right now as we speak. So it should be there in St. Pete.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it's good. Chad actually is a big, just very similar to Adam. They have cool MTI boats, and they've actually both have 39 MTI canopy pleasure boats, or race pleasure, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so now Chad will have a race boat just like his pleasure boat. So only difference is it don't have speakers. It doesn't have all that other
Air
stuff.
conditioning.
No, it has air. It does
does
have air. The race
it
boat
does.
does. Yeah, it isn't as good as the system like Adam and Chad have in their boats, which there's an actual water pickup on the boat that brings water in and then cools the compressor and condenser off. That way, with a water system similar to like the Cruiser or whatever, or a center console, but it has a heat exchanger that has fans on it that actually blow through it, because I don't know that it matters that much, but the added drag of that little water pickup on the boat might be a disadvantage. Never really done back-to-back testing to see if it does anything, but as far as
the AC compressor's heavy too.
Yeah,
there's weight there.
That's true.
Well,
They probably 70 pounds.
Adam, you told me that your AC blows so cold that your guests on board have to wear blankets sometimes.
Yeah, so when Rusty's wife Jessica comes in the boat, she brings a towel and a blanket because they get cold. So people are fighting for that back seat in the middle of July and August at the lake.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the coldest spot?
Yeah. Well, it's the only spot that's available. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some pictures in your boat. It does get kind of cold.
There's ice forming on the inside of the cockpit.
Yeah, ice form. Yeah.
Well, that being said, Adam, are you going to follow Chad's lead and maybe put some pros into racing?
Yeah.
Am I going to buy 2 boats, a plane, and a couple haulers? I don't think so.
He's got a dog. He's happy.
Yeah,
with
I got a little dog.
And now a
she takes
duck.
all my time. Yeah. No, I think the racing would be awesome, but for me with my work schedule, I mean, I don't like showing up on time for a poker round. So, I don't think I could adhere to the race schedule. I don't know how you guys do it, Myrick. It's just
Yeah.
one thing after another, and the logistics and transport, and
Yeah.
they haven't got the money yet, but it's a big undertaking, and I'm the type of person where I don't want to do something half-assed, so I would have to go do something stupid. And
yeah, and one of those, and
go full
one of the
Chad.
reasons that you had talked about, like the reasons that you like, coming to the lake now that you have Harper's Cove as your development, and all these boat guys buying boats in that facility, and the fact that you can just have your boat ready and in the water at Performance Boat Center, and you can go boating or hop on other boats with all your friends. It makes it way easier and makes it more enjoyable to go boating.
yeah, I can't remember the last time I trailered the boat, and I probably wouldn't be boating right now with my schedule if it wasn't for you guys, and just texting Justice and saying I'll be there Thursday morning, and the boat's in the water, the fuel on it, ready to go. So it's very convenient.
Yeah.
Makes it way easier when I do watch customers come pick their boats up and like, hey, we're going, what's coming up? Destin's coming up. And the instead of having, like a professional hauler come and do it and they show up and the boat's in the water, I'm like, man, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Picking up the boat, doing 2-3 days running, get there, wash it. Unless you have like a Marine Concepts cover where you can, take that cover off and everything's clean. But, it's still a lot of work getting it to the dock, obviously scheduling the fact that you're going to have dockage and hotel rooms and all that stuff.
Well, back in the early days of our boating, we could barely afford the fuel. So having a professional hauler wasn't an option. So we're, lucky or blessed or whatever you want to call it to be able to, have the support that we have nowadays, which is, priceless in my mind.
For sure. Well, and
we
if,
see it a
Harper,
lot with Performance Boat Tender too.
If Harper's Cove sounds familiar to y'all, Adam in Harper's Cove was our first sponsor, and your development there in Lake of the Ozarks. Thanks for that, by the way. Again, talk about that. You've got people moving in, including Rusty, who's already moved into their place, and it's just growing. And you have some available spots.
Yeah, so we have the site's complete. Infrastructure's in, roads are done, sidewalks are in. There's water in the pool. The docks are there with utilities on them, and we now have, I believe we have 3 families living in the neighborhood, Rusty being one of them, one of Rusty's best friends being the second. I'm in the process of, got about 10 or 11 houses in different phases of construction, so someone could come in and buy a lot from me, or buy a finished spec home, or you could work with us and Thomas Construction, who did a lot with Myrick and all those guys at Performance. They're my preferred builder. Someone could work with them and get a house done, built to their specs. So these development deals, they're always time consuming, but it's now coming to the point where it's real. There's houses there, people living there. So we're very, very excited.
That's pretty awesome.
How many lots are there?
So I bought 40 acres. I developed about half of it, and there's 52 lots in that called the first phase of the development. And probably half are spoken for at this point in time.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And the dock in the back, it's massive. How many slips are in that thing?
52 dock slips.
52.
So 7 dock sections.
Yeah.
So everything from 12 by 32 all up to 16 by 48 cruiser slips.
Nice.
Jeez. Well, congratulations on that.
So, and that's, if anybody's wondering, that is, if you pull into the first cove right out, coming out of the glaze to the left, and go like you're going to go to Kellysport. It's a no wake cove. You idle past Kellysport, and it's in the back of the cove on the left. If you're wondering what's going on back there, Harper's Cove, got to be a lot of cool boats, a lot of real nice facility.
Yeah. Myrick, you're off to the races again. St. Pete?
Yeah, I'll leave Friday morning. Yep. And the reason you see the Detroit hat, football season starts tomorrow night.
So the Cowboys and the Philly.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
You a Vikings fan, Adam, since you're from around there?
I'm from Minnesota. I've been a Vikings fan, and that's actually what Slug loves making fun of me for being a Vikings fan. He reminds me every time I see him.
Everybody makes fun of me for being a Detroit fan, not just Slug. But yeah.
We were in Detroit a few weeks ago, and the game was on, and I screenshot it and sent it to Myrick, and they were getting blown out pretty good, and his only response back to me was, "Don't be a dick."
Yeah. Well, everybody always talks about preseason and stuff like that, and I'm like, you remember that time that the Lions went 0-16? They're like, oh yeah, I do. Like, they were 4-0. They were 4-0 in the preseason, so don't get too excited.
Although the Lions had a pretty good season last year.
Oh yeah. Well, it's all about winning. Nobody thinks about who made it to the NFC Championship or even the game before that. They all remember who won the Super Bowl. So
right,
just like nobody's going to remember who got third place at Chicago boat races last weekend. Nobody going to remember. They're just going to remember Dirty Money won. So that's why we got to go out there and put it on them this weekend in St. Pete. That's the goal. So get there Friday. I have some testing to do, and I remember when boat racing used to be testing on Saturday and race on Sunday. Now we race every freaking day. So, but it is good. I mean, I understand you're going to be there where you might as well be racing, but that's the way it works now. And St. Pete, if you don't know, it's all in a bay, and they have this giant pier. Like, you would think that you're, I don't know, in a city on this pier. It's so huge. I forget what they said. The price of the St. Pete pier, but it's like the town's pride and joy. I'm actually going to look it up because it's mind blowing. I heard some stupid things, but you guys can converse while I'm looking at it. But it's right around it.
That's one of the courses that you enjoy racing at, right, Myrick? St. Pete?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I like all that west side of Florida, and Clearwater's then, just a couple weeks away after that. And I like Clearwater too. So, I mean, I just like being on that west side of Florida, and hopefully it ain't 900 degrees and only 800 degrees.
And we're hearing that there's pretty good fleet that's heading down there for racing this weekend. A full fleet of factory stocks and super stocks, and a lot of
93 million. I knew it was expensive.
That's a lot of money.
So, yeah. The Pier District development project cost approximately 93 million. 14 years in the making. So when you drive by it, you're like, man, that thing's huge. And there's actually like stadium seating on the roof of it and everything. So it's pretty dope. Well, I mean, I've never actually been up there and watched a race, but from pictures that I've seen, and I think Missy held down a table there for like a day having beers watching the races last year. St. Pete.
And Myrick, how old is that pier?
It says that it was built in 20. So,
wow.
Yeah, the project opening in 2020 after 14 years of work. Yeah,
so if it was under construction for, call it 14 years, that's closer to 250 million in today's dollars.
Oh, geez.
Damn.
Yeah. The previous pier that they took down was built in 73. And they found that the structure was unsound. 26-acre pier. That's a pretty big pier.
That's big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Adam could put a lot of houses on it.
We could put a lot of houses up.
Speaking of, congratulations to your wife on running a very nice pass at the shootouts herself. And making the back of a
122. Yeah.
Nice.
She's a big deal.
She is a big deal. She's on a t-shirt, on the back of a t-shirt, right?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, there was. I saw that. There was a shootout t-shirt with all of the women of the shootout. and it's pretty cool. They have a, I think it was pink writing what I saw, but it had all the names of all of the ladies that have done shootout passes. So
Yeah.
pretty neat. And
Well,
shout out
I'm
to
sure you guys.
Sabrina Kowalik for beating my ass by like 20 miles per hour in the shootout, and running Scott Rosenbach's 482 MTI, which I give huge accolades, and I did in front of Randy and everybody at our Thursday night party. And Rusty and Sabrina ran a 165 in a factory pleasure boat, and I think it was probably like the fourth or fifth fastest pass.
I think it was the fifth fastest pass, and
Yeah.
Rusty and I took it out the day before it and burned fuel out of it, and it had way too much fuel, and I don't even think we took the coolers out of the back when they ran it. So that boat's fast. That boat is very fast.
That's screaming.
I actually ran another one the other day, and I took Justice. Justice had never been in the 482, and who else was with us? Maybe Brandon Proctor, one of our other A-techs, and he it was maybe Monday, Tuesday morning, or anyway, it was in the yellow one, which is a really good customer of ours, and it's got 1100 1350s, and we were messing with a water pressure issue and making sure the fuel delivery was good, and we ran up like to 163 or 165 miles per hour, just like nothing. I mean,
that's wild.
You don't even have to work that hard, and it's going that fast. So I think it was 163, and I was thinking to myself, we were coming back in, and it was early in the morning. I was like, how many other people in the world do you think on a boat went 163 today? You know, and it's like, I bet you there wasn't very many worldwide.
No. Yeah.
So,
and that thing does it so effortlessly. That's the crazy part about that boat.
Yeah,
it is. It is. Yeah.
Adam, what's next for you and your unmistakable all red MTI 390 XR?
I don't know. I think I'm going to keep that boat. I mean, it's tough to replace it. We'll put whatever the new motors are when they come out, and whenever they come out. And I think a 42 or a 50 is probably my next boat I'll add to the collection. So
nice.
The center consoles are becoming more and more attractive, especially with how rough the lake gets on Saturday. We jump in either Scott or Chris's 50s on Saturday, and you don't even notice the water. It's a pretty cool boat.
It's mind blowing. Yesterday, all the days are blending together. No, Monday, I was getting ready to leave work, and Rusty was like, Scott's boat needs to be ran to make sure that the generator is, running good, and because it's leaving to go to Florida and all that. And I'm like, what? Take Scott's 50 home? No way. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I guess if I have to.
Well, you're doing the Lord's work, Myrick. Thank you.
Yeah,
someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
I know. Somebody came up to me, and it was like, no, we went down, picked up the kids and my mom and dad. It was, later in the day, and went down to Neon Taco and had it tied up. And somebody's like, what are you doing with that thing? I'm like, to be honest, testing it. They're like, and I'm like, no, this isn't something that you want to, take to Florida, and then you're something isn't right on it. So let's get it right now while we can, spend a couple hours doing it. And
yeah,
thank goodness it didn't screw up, but I didn't have to work on it. So anyway, it's going to get some warranty work done, and then off to South Florida where she'll spend her winter.
Very nice.
And another thing happened to Shootout, which we didn't bring up, the MTI 422, which I didn't think they could make it much better, but damn, it's nice.
It's awesome. The SV 422, it's essentially the reimagined 42, just with more creature comforts and more everything.
Yeah. Did you walk around it, Adam?
I did. It turned out very nice, and I like the extended cabin and what they did with some of the seating and the 50 helm that's in there. Because what is that, a 27-inch
Yeah.
screen up
Yeah, the
front
bigger
now? 'Cause
screen.
You need a bigger screen up in the front of that thing.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if they
and
make
then,
it, we better put a bigger one on there.
Right.
And me being short guy, I mean, Sean took me up in there, and it has the little bump up, just like the 50
The
when you're
steps
getting
for
it.
you.
Yeah, the step. Yeah, the cute little step. So that was nice. And then of course the back seat moved back a little bit, so more room behind the bar area, and then the cabin, which is the biggest, because before, when you would like put your luggage in there, I mean, you weren't going to use the bathroom, you weren't going to do anything but use it as storage. Now, with the way the front bed's designed and the separate bathroom, it's mind-blowing how much difference it made down below.
Totally polished and totally elegant now. It's awesome. So nice job, MTI.
Way to go, MTI. Way to make something else cool that everybody needs.
Yeah, Ray Kwolek was texting this morning. He sent pictures of his new one over. He's pretty excited about that. And we signed up for the MTI Fun Run, so we're going to take that in March down to Hawks Cay again. So
very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, the best boat's your friend's boat.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Well, Myrick, good luck this weekend in St. Pete. Hope we can remember your first place finish. Knock on wood. And
yeah, not my third.
Right. Adam, look forward to seeing you at the PBC Fall Fun Run in the Dirty Duck. So let us know if that comes about. Yeah. And thanks for joining us. I know this is a little bit out of your comfort zone, but the hour flew by, and thanks for giving us your insight on your 215 mind-blowing pass.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the invite to come on. I really do.
Yeah, way to go, buddy.
Yeah, congratulations. This has been another episode of the Boats and Bros podcast. Please remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Myrick.
Thank you.
This podcast is powered by Speedboat Magazine. Subscribe now at speedboat.com for 9 power-packed current issues a year direct to your mailbox.